Just when I think I'm out, you pull me back in. You guys are sickos. You're absolutely sick. This is all your fault. Tonight, I'm gonna go see Winnie-the-Pooh Blood and Honey 2. I did watch the first one when the first one came out. I went and saw it at the cinemas, and I went back and re-looked at my scores. I didn't rate it that poorly because I feel like going into films like this, you know, or you should know what to expect. And if you go into this film expecting something different, is that the nice way to put it? Then that's on you. That's on you. I may not watch trailers, but I just have to look at the poster to figure out what kind of film this is. And I know I sound very judgy when I say that. It is what it is. You know what I mean? There's no excuse for that. But you guys, I asked you on Instagram, you voted it, and here I am, and you better be watching if you voted that. The reason I am so intrigued to see this film, number 2, is because of this. Have you guys seen this? Gotta be some kind of joke, but the first Winnie-the-Pooh got 3% on the tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes. This one right now is 100%. And let me tell you, if you didn't know, I am a certified Rotten Tomatoes critic. Will it stay 100% after this? I gotta be honest, I gotta be truthful, and I gotta take you with me because it's what you deserve. Winnie-the-Pooh Blood and Honey 2 follows the gang as they fight in the town of Ashdown, leaving a bloody trail of death and mayhem in their wake. This one has Tigger. Can't wait to see him. I've heard that this one has a fun way of continuing on from the last one, but I'll let you know if you should see it before you see this one. And if it's worth your time, I don't know if there's hope for this one, and that is a big question because the creator of this film is bringing forth a whole franchise. If you haven't heard of this, this is the Jagged Edge production Poohverse, also known as the Twisted Child universe. You got the Mad Hatter, you got Sleeping Beauty, and you have Pinocchio as well. Leave Pinocchio out of this, seriously. There's a bunch of wild characters going on. They've got Bambi. They got Bambi. Let's see if the Winnie-the-Pooh legacy lives on, if it's better than the first, and if it's worth opening up a whole universe in this style. Let's go. Just gonna pour myself some tea before we go because I'm going to a late night session starting at 9:20. It's too late for me. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to Adam and his brother Jake, who saw my video about me being hacked. I believe they have secured my Instagram for me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I just had to give a shout out. Are all very cruel people. I can't believe I sat through that. I can't believe I did that. And the scores are in. It's already changed, which of course they just got the 100% before things balanced out. This film, I honestly think is worse than the first somehow. And I might be the only person, I don't know. I can't trust any of the reviews because they're all over the place. But this film was so different to the first one. Basically, they're able to find a way to make this film and the last film exist in the same universe but be completely different within the storyline, and I'll let you to figure out how that works out. But we do have a new Christopher Robin. He's been recast in this film, and because of the way they're able to separate the two films, which you don't need to see the first film to see this film. They do a little animation recap at the start and they set it all up perfect for you. Not that it would be confusing what was going on anyway, although it does start kind of normal and really transpires into something else. I didn't see that coming, I gotta say that. But it does feed you the story very simply. And this one is more of the classic story about a kid who was traumatized by something and he's looking into his past to figure out what actually happened. And I really liked this version of Christopher Robin. Maybe that was strong saying I really liked it, but I thought there was some potential there. I thought the guy who played him did a really good job with what he had. The thing that this film suffers from, in my opinion, is the tonal shifts. There was some really interesting aspects, and when I'm talking to you about things I liked in this film, please lower the standards because it is this kind of film after all, and I'm talking about trying to pull the positive out of this caliber. I hope we're on the same page. I thought Tigger was going to steal the show, and Tigger's reveal is pretty epic, but he's not in much of the film. But who really steals the show this time is Owl. Owl really has a Gothic kind of Mothman-esque penguin, the penguin vibe. His costume is so grand, and there's a lot of dialogue being had by all of the Pooh characters this time around. They say a lot and they have more of a vicious look to them. Definitely an upgrade from the last one. And that's when I feel like the film has this more serious tone, and especially with Owl, it felt almost gothic. Just the scene that Owl was in, and also some transition scenes of Owl, you know, flying across the sky, and then we have moon scenes and ravens, and it felt like spooky gothic. But then we get all of the backstory of the trauma of Christopher Robin, which feels, yeah, very lengthy. And then his story, it just connecting the dots from his trauma to Winnie-the-Pooh and then his family is absolutely bizarre. Good luck. But then we also have, you know, all of the carnage, and this film is rated in Australia R, which is over 18, and the language was really intense. They use the C word like straight up at the very start of the film, not for no really any reason. A lot of swearing, but then also there's a lot of boobs. There's a whole kind of party scene and a lot of carnage, obviously a lot of gore. If you like gore, this film does deliver gore. It has a very strange mix of practical and then some like CGI blood splatter, which was really weird, but some of the kills were satisfying. I will give them that. But I just felt like the tonal shifts between having this emotional story with Christopher Robin and this gothic owl tale, and then the blood, gore, splatter, boobs in your face at a party while their heads are getting ripped off, all that good stuff. It was just such, I didn't know how to take it. And the first film, even though we now know that the director was quite serious about it, it was so campy, and this one wasn't as campy to that effect, and it seemed like it was taking itself quite seriously at some points. Logistically as well, I have to say, the film had some really weird errors in it. Repetitive shots. I don't know why they would do an exterior shot to establish a location twice in the same spot throughout the film. It was just strange like that, and there was just a few logistic things that didn't quite make sense. Obviously it's a lower budget film, that's fine. I think that they were very ambitious with what they could achieve, and you know, hats off to them, they got it in cinemas. Overall, this new look, although it might be more vicious and the gore is more intense, I didn't find it to be as campy and fun as the last one. There is this monologue in it. That's all I can say it is. This guy who speaks for so long and says absolutely nothing. And that's when I felt like the film was taking itself too seriously for the blood splatter. It does have the one-liners, if you're into that. It does have some gore. If you liked the first one, you might like this one. I actually liked it less than the first one, but it seems like everyone else is opposite. I'm gonna give this one a personal score of 3 out of 10. I gotta be honest, 3 out of 10. I'm gonna give it an originality score of 4 out of 10. I'll say 4 because the way there's a thing that happens in it that didn't need to happen. It didn't need to be part of the story, but they really wanted to put something unique in there, and they have a little tiny unique spin. And then Scare, the gore is very intense. It's very fake, but there definitely were some parts where I was wincing at the situations they were in, which I thought was very cool. I'm gonna give it a 7 for pure gore. I don't think it's scary, but I do think it is gory. I mean, it's an R18 film, which is probably due to the language and nudity, but also due to the gore. There you go, guys. guys, you are welcome. I hope you enjoyed this. Luckily, tomorrow I'm seeing Late Night with the Devil, and I've heard very good things. I wonder if it will live up to the hype, and there's only one way to find out, so make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys then. If you want to check out some of my other videos, I just watched Godzilla, Kong, The New Empire, and also last week I saw Ghostbusters. So I'll talk to you guys very soon. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye, friends.